You've heard this. You've probably heard it 1,000 times. The truth will set you free. Right? I just read an article that I'm going to post up above by a guy I truly admire, John Stabella, and he was talking about truth and how truth is not absolute. Truth is subjective. And to teeter on that, what I found in life, the truth is the truth is when you know in your heart what it is. When you know in your heart what you need to do in your life, what you want to do in your life. I forget who said this, and I'll try to source it, but he said adults don't need to be instructed. They just need to be reminded. And if you listen to your heart has a good way of reminding you of what's truly important in your life. But I do believe the truth in your own heart, not what I tell you the truth, not what anyone else tells you what the truth is, not what your parents tell you what the truth is, but what you believe the truth is in your heart. I believe it will set you free. Just from my experiences alone, what I found, though, that takes accepting the truth is it takes you stepping outside of yourself and being willing to become vulnerable. But see, when we want to become vulnerable, or when we need to become vulnerable in order to grow, we feel its weakness. Vulnerability, watched on the outside, looks like strength. But what we do, because we feel its weakness and because we feel like once facing the truth also what? The truth hurts. What I found is it doesn't really hurt. It just forces you to be vulnerable, which feels like weakness in the moment, but is actually something extraordinarily courageous. So what we do is we create these beliefs, these stories that block us from getting to the truth. Like, I grew up and my parents got a divorce and that's why this, and this. I don't have time. I don't have the money. I grew up in a bad home. I grew up poor. And what we do is we build all these stories that block us from getting to the truth. And the truth is really the only thing that's going to allow us to grow in our lives. So what I found is we've got to find a way to drop these beliefs, because what they do is they create this force field around. So when you go to grow, you keep hitting these old beliefs that stop you from growing. Because again, the truth will set you free. So what I challenge you to do is what I've challenged myself to do, is allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to remove some of those beliefs, that force field that's blocking you from getting to the truth, that's blocking you from growing, from expanding on yourself, because you didn't have the time, didn't have the money, didn't have the right parents, didn't have the right technologies, didn't have the right timing. I live in a small town. I live in a big town. There's too much competition. There's not enough whatever. It's kind of like this. When you tell stories like that, it's kind of like when you tell your trainer that you did 12 when you only did 8. It's only hurting you. Quit buying those stories because it's costing you a lot. And when you remove that barrier and you find the truth and the willingness to become vulnerable and be courageous, to step forward, to move forward in your life, you get set free. And I'll tell you this, the best thing I think you can experience, and I may be wrong, but in my life, the best thing that I could ever experience is a sense of freedom. So I challenge you, drop the barrier. Quit buying those stories that build the force field around the truth. Be vulnerable, step up, and set yourself free. Let's grow, baby.